Hey guys, it's Todd Campbell, Farmers Insurance. Welcome to Honest Opinions with a Home Lender. We're here with Ryan Stewart of Caliber Home Loans, helping home buyers find the right loan for the right home. Ryan, thanks so much for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to ask some personal questions,
Okay.
and we're going to ask some business questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Just to see what happens.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, why is it important to be a lender for a high-quality, reputable mortgage company, and how did that play into your move to Caliber Home Loans?
So, a lot of it has to do with not only you as the lender, but a lot of it has to do with, everything from you processing all the way through closing. And so for me, a big part of that was, what does the team behind you look like? Because you're only as good as the engine that's driving you.
For sure.
It's a team effort anytime you're closing a loan from start to finish. And so I think knowing, a company like Caliber who has great customer service, who has servicing. So, we keep those loans, we service your loan.
Yeah.
And really from soup to nuts are able to provide all of those, things for the customer. That's why.
Yeah.
And so that did play a big part for me
Good.
in my decision to move. Yeah.
Good, okay. If you could get rid of one bad habit your kids have, what would it be?
One bad habit. Okay, well, my youngest definitely has. He is precocious, to say the least, at 12 years old. So he does have a little bit of a tendency to roll his eyes once in a while when he's annoyed with me or, I've said the wrong thing. So I'm like, okay, you need to not do that. So I'd probably get rid of that. My oldest, he doesn't know how to use a blinker. So that's the one thing. And I ask him in the car, I'm like, you do realize that I bought this one, it has a blinker. So use it, and he's like, okay,
Yeah, so he's rolling his eyes, right?
Yes, I'm like, this model came with a blinker, so let's use it. And he's like, no.
Maybe it's out of blinker fluid.
It's lost, maybe. It must be,
right?
Constantly.
All right, let's go back to business.
Okay.
Do you think interest rates will stay low or go up this year?
If I had the answer, I would say I would buy a lottery ticket tomorrow too. But in general, I think they're going to stay relatively low. Obviously, where we saw them, middle of last year, up from that, we are, you hear people and customers call and I hear interest rates are going up, and they're very, very favorable. Locking rates this week, people are still getting great deals, whether it be conventional FHA. They're still great. So, whether they start to continue to uptick a little bit, I'm refinancing a customer now where he bought a year and a half ago, and his rate's tremendously better than where he was at that point. So
that's crazy.
It's still a good time. We'll see what they do, but it's not time to panic, and I think that's just the message to get out
It's
there
funny
people.
because even a 3.75% loan is historically extremely low.
Correct. Yes.
But
so
people are like, oh my gosh.
Yes, and so you have to kind of educate people on where they were, where they're at, and then a lot of it too for me is what does that really look like? Because people are like, well, I was at a 3 and now I'm at a 3.125. Is walking through, okay, but let me show you what that looks like, in your payment.
Yeah.
What does that really change your payment? And typically it's
not much.
Don't go to Starbucks once this month. Or what? It's something minimal. It's all important. We all want to save money and do the right thing, but that's kind of where you have to educate the customer and walk through some of that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go crazy. Not anytime soon, really. So.
Right. Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, what's your proudest moment as a lender?
So I've had a lot of proud moments as a lender, honestly, because I tend to work with quite a few first-time home buyers. I will say one of the proudest moments was, and it's been about 2 years ago, helping a family, first-time home buyers. They were, not from the U.S. They were from, overseas. So there was just some differences in what they had been experienced, especially being first-time home buyers. Just the lingo, all the requirements, some of that kind of stuff. So process went fine. Got in the house for whatever reason at the time. I think they had it was either 4 or 5 kids. I remember. Super sweet couple, and for whatever reason I couldn't be at closing. I don't know if it was just scheduling or what was going on, but I remember the coolest thing. And at the time, my office, before we were all switched up, right down the office from my underwriter, who was, always involved and knew our customers, and we talked about them first name. It wasn't just a file number, and they called as they were leaving closing, and they were all in the car, and the kids were like so screaming and yelling in the background. They were so excited because they were going home and they'd never had a backyard before.
Oh my God.
And they were like, thank you, Mr. Ryan. And I can tell you it's the proudest, and also the moment when I was like crying as a
I know you had to well up a little bit.
It's one of those moments that really stood out for me, and that one still does. So
that's amazing.
There's lots of proud moments when you can get somebody in a house and it's things like that where it's their kid's first time in their backyard, or it's first time home ownership, or whatever it is.
Wow.
But that one really always stuck out in my mind.
That's cool.
And so
that is cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
What are your thoughts about the app TikTok, and should it be available to everyone or have an age requirement?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question. Only because, you know, back in the day, I was like, I will never get on TikTok. I remember when the pandemic started, and I was like, what's a TikTok thing, you know? And now I have to say, there is part of my day in which I like to see. But there's a lot of cool content out there. I mean, there's a lot of great recipes and ideas, and you know, it's just another place where it's interesting to see how much creativity is out there in the world.
Yeah.
I will say this, that I think my 18-year-old I know has it. I don't think he uses it very much. My 12-year-old wants it and doesn't have it. So personally, I think there's an age limit because there is some content on there that I don't think it's appropriate for kiddos.
Sure.
You know, that just is what it is. And as much as we all wish we could monitor every little thing they do, you can't.
You can't.
So I definitely think you should, or I would prefer that, you know, certain ages probably not have that.
Yeah.
But I do like TikTok. It's kind of fun to watch and laugh, and whatever your thing is, there's something out there for everybody, I guess.
I know. I get this feeling like I want to not like it, but I can't help it. Like someone puts something out there and I'm like, oh, that was fun. Let's see another one.
Well, then you see the person and you're like, oh, they're so interesting and they're so, you know, so yeah, it's kind of fun.
It is amazing how much creativity is out there.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yep.
Why are you, as a home lender, the best choice for someone purchasing or refinancing?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with, again, approachability. Obviously, Caliber's a great organization, great company, all the different loan programs and things that we offer. But at the end of the day, it's really more about, you know, I've always said this, that real estate doesn't happen between the hours of 8 and 5. And I truly do adopt that because, you know, people get home at 7 o'clock, kids, no kids, go to the gym, whatever your evening routine is, that may be the first time, you know, 7:30, 8 o'clock that you have the ability to look at your closing cost estimate or look at your loan estimate or look at your closing disclosure or whatever, or some question came up where you don't know. And so for me as a lender, being able to be reachable, you know, after hours and on the weekends, when the reality is that's when real estate is really happening. You know, I think that's one of the things that I pride myself on as a lender.
Good.
You know, I want someone, and I tell people, you know, straight up from the first call you have with me, this is my cell phone. I don't have an office line. It is directly to my cell phone. Call me, text me, email me. You know, so that line of communication is so important because, again, it's a big process. Lots of different, you know, I's to dot and T's to cross along the way. So just making sure that you're able to be, you know, reachable, not only for the customer, for the agent, you know, just throughout the process.
I mean, that is customer experience, right?
It is.
That's what makes it.
Yep.
So that's awesome, and it's huge. I mean, and that is the reality. I mean, I haven't done many personal loans myself, but when I have, it is the same thing. Like on Saturday, you sit down, open up your email, and oh, now all these questions come up. So you got to be able to contact.
So you got to be able to. I mean, I've had that happen where I was traveling in an airport and I was like, you know what? I'm on a plane right now, but as soon as I land, I'll get on my laptop and update your pre-approval letter, whatever. So you just have to be willing to work with them. And so I think that's, you know, for me, that's an important piece of being a lender and being accessible, you know, for my clients.
That's fantastic.
So
awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Honest Opinions with a Home Lender. Again, Ryan Stewart, Caliber Home Loans. If you are interested in refinancing or purchasing, please reach out to Ryan. You can find him on social media. Do a Google search. You will definitely find him. Don't forget to like and share this video. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.